The sun rose slowly over the village of Rampur, painting the sky in shades of orange, gold, and pale pink. The morning air was cool and crisp, carrying the scent of wood smoke from early cooking fires and the distant call of peacocks from the fields. I am Kavita, 26 years old, born and raised in this small corner of Rajasthan, where traditions run as deep as the roots of the ancient banyan tree that has stood in the village square for over 300 years. I wake each morning before dawn, when the rooster has not yet called, and the stars still shine faintly in the darkening sky. In these precious moments of solitude, I move quietly through our sprawling haveli, my bare feet silent on the cold stone floors. The house sleeps around me, my mother-in-law in her room with its heavy wooden door, my sister-in-law Sunita breathing softly in the room we share, the servants in their quarters behind the kitchen. My life has always been simple, yet heavy with expectations that press down like the summer heat. I live in this large joint family home, a sprawling haveli with crumbling walls painted in faded blue that was once vibrant as a peacock's throat. The paint peels now in long strips, revealing the mud brick beneath. The courtyard is our world, an open square surrounded by rooms on all sides, where we cook over wood fires, wash clothes in brass vessels, argue over household matters, and dream our secret dreams when no one is watching. I married into this family 4 years ago. On a day so hot, the henna on my hands dried within minutes of application. I left behind my parents' smaller, happier home, my 3 younger sisters who cried at the wedding, and the mango tree I had climbed as a child. I became a daughter-in-law in this house, ruled by my mother-in-law, whom we call Sas, never by her given name, which I heard once was Rukmini. My husband, Rajan, works as an accountant in Jaipur, the Pink City, 4 hours away by bus. He comes home only on weekends, arriving late Friday night smelling of diesel fumes and city dust, leaving again Sunday evening with his iron shirts and tiffin box full of food I've prepared. In his absence, which is most of my life, I answer to Sas, a woman of 62 with silver hair pulled so tightly into a bun that it stretches the skin at her temples. Her eyes miss nothing. Not a grain of rice wasted, not a moment of idleness, not a strand of hair out of place. She wears white cotton saris, always crisp, always clean despite the dust that coats everything in Rampur, and her voice carries the weight of decades of unquestioned authority. I share my days with Sunita, my husband's younger brother's wife. She is 23, 3 years younger than me, quieter than me, with large brown eyes that seem to hold secrets she never speaks aloud. Her husband, Arun, also works in the city, in the same company as Rajan. She came to this house 2 years ago, shy and hopeful. Her wedding trunk full of colorful saris she rarely wears now. And slowly, through shared chores and whispered conversations, we became sisters in everything but blood. My hair has always been my pride, though I was taught never to say so. It falls past my waist in thick, dark waves. Every morning, I oil it with coconut oil, braid it carefully, weaving jasmine flowers through the strands on special days. In our village, a woman's hair is her crown, her honor, her identity. When mothers seek brides for their sons, they ask, how long is her hair? How thick? Sunita's hair is equally beautiful, silky and straight, blue black like a crow's wing, reaching the middle of her back. She ties it in a loose plait that swings when she walks. Together, we are known as the daughters-in-law with the beautiful hair. But beauty, I have learned, can become a burden. It began 3 months ago. The monsoon had just ended, and the air was thick with humidity. Sas sat on her wooden chair in the courtyard, supervising as we prepared for a family gathering. I was grinding spices when a strand of hair escaped my braid. I paused to tuck it back. Sas's eyes narrowed. You spend too much time on that hair, she said sharply, like a peacock preening while work waits. Have you finished the spices? Yes, Sas, I replied, cheeks burning. I was just... Hair won't feed this family. Vanity is a poison, Kavita. That night, I cried into my pillow while Sunita rubbed my back silently. The gathering passed, but something had shifted in Sas. She watched our hair now with strange intensity, commenting daily. You use too much oil. You spend too long combing. Why do you need such long hair? Sunita and I exchanged glances but remained silent. We had learned that silence was our only armor. Then came the day of the broken pot. It was a Tuesday, scorching hot. I was carrying a large brass water pot from the well when my foot caught on a loose stone. The pot crashed down, water exploding everywhere, the brass denting badly. Sass emerged from the kitchen like a storm. "My grandmother's pot!" she screamed. "Ruined!" I fell to my knees. "I'm sorry, Sass. I didn't see." "Careless! Your head is always in the clouds, dreaming of your beauty." She turned sharply. "Someone fetch Gopal!" My blood ran cold. Gopal was the village barber, a thin man of 50 who cut men's hair in his shop near the temple, a place women never entered. When he arrived with his son Manoj, he looked deeply uncomfortable. "Why have you called me?" he asked Sass respectfully. She pointed at me. "This one needs a lesson in humility. Her pride lives in her hair. Cut it off." The world tilted. "Please, Sass, please don't." Sunita ran forward. "Mama, please, it's too much." "You defend her?" Sass's eyes glinted. "Then you share her punishment. Both of you with your vanity." Gopal hesitated. "These are their husbands." "Their husbands aren't here. I am the head of this house. Do it or find another village to work in." He nodded slowly, defeated. 2 stools were brought to the courtyard center. Neighbors gathered at our gate, whispering, watching. The sun beat down mercilessly. I sat first, trembling. Manoj draped a worn gray cape over my shoulders. It smelled of old hair and cheap soap, rough against my neck. Gopal took my thick braid in his weathered hand. "I'm sorry," he whispered. The scissors weren't sharp. They sawed through my hair with a grinding sound that vibrated through my skull. Each cut was agony, not physical, but spiritual. I felt the weight falling away, years of hair severed in seconds. The braid came free, nearly 2 feet long. Gopal placed it on newspaper beside the stool like a dead thing, but he wasn't finished.
But today we take
He
our
continued
time.
cutting the remaining
Keep still,
hair,
daughter.
working around my head.
The worst is nearly done.
Snip, snip. Hair fell like black rain.
I
He
know.
cut behind my ears,
Breathe with
at
the
my
cut.
nape,
Let
reducing
it pass.
everything to ragged tufts barely
One
2
more
inches
sweep,
long.
and you'll...
My scalp, exposed for the first time, felt naked and cold despite the heat. "Now the other one," Sass commanded. Sunita sat down, shaking violently. Manoj changed her cape to a faded green one. Gopal worked faster this time, perhaps wanting it over. Her beautiful straight hair fell in ribbons around the stool. The scissors moved more easily through her finer hair, but the sound was just as terrible. First went the length, a clean cut removing 2 feet instantly. Then the shaping cuts, though calling such butchery shaping was generous. Around her ears, across her crown, at her nape. Hair accumulated in a dark pool around her. When finished, her hair was uneven and ragged, barely reaching her ears, with tufts sticking up at angles. Sass surveyed us with satisfaction. "Now you know what matters. Obedience, work, respect." She walked inside, leaving us in the courtyard surrounded by our fallen hair. The courtyard emptied slowly, neighbors carrying whispers like baskets of gossip. Gopal and Manoj packed their tools silently, refusing payment. "For the scalp," Gopal said quietly, pressing a small oil bottle into my hand. "It will itch as it grows." Sunita and I sat alone until sunset, 2 women with butchered hair and broken hearts. "This is my fault," I whispered. "No," she said, touching her ragged hair. this house? These rules? Later, we gathered our cut hair in newspapers, unable to throw it away. We hid the bundles in our room like precious relics. Days passed in shame. We covered our heads completely with dupattas. At the well, women stared with pity and horror. At the market, vendors fell silent. Young girls looked away quickly, perhaps imagining the same fate. But at night, we talked.
800 losses.
Do you remember thinking it would be different?
730 strokes.
Sunita asked one
8 or
night.
10 million beds.
That if we were good wives, we'd be loved? We were fools, I said. We were taught to be fools. She paused.
It was the rule in Bush again.
What if we stopped
But after a
believing?
really long time.
What if we chose something different? 3 weeks later, our hair had grown perhaps half an inch.
That's confusing.
Ugly
my soul
tufts,
right.
too short to lie flat, too long to look intentional. The itching was maddening.
They're
Sunita
under
came to
50.
me with a plan.
Near their table.
They took our hair to humiliate us, she said. But what if we took the
So?
rest ourselves?
Ignash.
Our choice, not theirs. We entered the barbershop at dawn, heads wrapped tightly. The small building had whitewashed walls and 2 old chairs with cracked leather. Gopal was sweeping when we entered.
On your hair.
You cannot be here. I unwound my dupatta, revealing the ugly tufts. We want you to finish what you started. We want our heads shaved completely, Sunita added. By our choice. The village will talk.
The face.
They already talk, I said. At least let them talk about women you chose. His son Manoj. Perhaps they have the right to choose. Finally, Gopal nodded.
Places it shouldn't.
The barber chairs were proper chairs with backs and arms,
yes.
worn smooth by years
But
of
wind
use.
also dries
In the mirror, we
tears
looked like
don't
refugees from
notice.
some disaster.
Sometimes losing.
You're certain? Gopal asked. Yes. He reached for manual clippers, heavy steel with hungry-looking teeth. This will take everything. He placed them at my forehead. I felt cold metal against skin. Then he pushed back in one long stroke. A path of bare scalp appeared through the tufts. The sensation was extraordinary. Vibration, scraping, the feeling of hair on virgin skin. Pass by pass, my head was laid bare. The sides went quickly. The back took longer, requiring multiple passes. With each stroke, I became someone new. My skull emerged, pale and smooth, elegantly round. Beside me, Manoj used electric clippers on Sunita, humming like angry bees. She kept her eyes closed, lips moving silently. When the clippers finished, Gopal produced a straight razor. For complete smoothness. He lathered my head with sandalwood soap, working it into foam with a worn brush. The bristles tickled. Then came the razor, scraping across my scalp like sand on paper. Long strokes, front to back, careful movements around the ears and nape. When done, he wiped my head with a warm towel and applied stinging aftershave that quickly cooled. My scalp tingled, alive with sensation. I touched my bare head, impossibly smooth, soft as silk. In the mirror, a different woman looked back. Without hair, my face seemed larger, my eyes huge. I looked severe, strong, like someone who had chosen. Sunita underwent the same transformation. When finished, we looked at each other, 2 bald women at dawn, and laughed. Even Gopal smiled.
Put the
You
place
look
to
like
stop.
warriors, Manoj said with
I'm
admiration.
looking at it.
We paid properly and rewrapped our heads. The walk home felt different. We felt different. Every sensation was sharp and new. When we reached the Haveli, Sauce was in the courtyard. We removed our dupattas. The plate she held clattered to the ground. What have you done? She whispered. You finished what you started, I said. You took our hair as punishment. We gave the rest as choice. You've gone mad. Perhaps, Sunita said, stronger than I'd ever heard her. But it's our madness to choose. Sauce's face showed shock, rage, confusion, and something else. Fear. Because women who could do this, what else might they do? That night, we burned our saved hair in the courtyard fire. It smoked terribly, acrid and sharp. Years of growth became ash in minutes. As we watched, I thought of all the mornings spent braiding, the identity wrapped in those strands, but also of freedom, of weight lifted. We'll never be who we
Floor
were,
by sleeping.
Sunita said.
From wrist.
Good,
where say
I
will
replied.
fire.
Days passed. Without hair to manage, mornings were quick. We walked with uncovered heads in the house, though Sass demanded we cover ourselves. Why? I asked. We have nothing to hide. At the market, reactions varied. Old Mrs. Sharma laughed with delight. Like female saints. Like women who renounced the world. We renounced expectations, I corrected. Some pulled their daughters away. Others, especially young wives, looked at us with envy. I wish I had your courage, one whispered. Courage comes when you have nothing left to lose, Sunita told her. Our scalps darkened, toughened. What was shocking became unusual, then almost normal. We developed new routines, morning oil massages, evening washes. The sensation of air on bare skin became addictive. Slowly, things changed in the house. Sass commanded with less certainty. She had played her strongest card, humiliation, and we had trumped it with defiance. 8 weeks later, for Diwali, our husbands returned to find wives with 2 inches of soft hair standing up like brushes. Rajan stood frozen in the doorway. Kavita, what happened? Are you ill? Sit, I said. We need to talk. I told him everything. The punishment, the shame, our choice to shave completely. His face went through many emotions, settling on something unexpected. That took incredible courage, he said. It took desperation, and a sister. I'm sorry, he said, tears on his face. I should have been here. I should have protected you. We protected ourselves, I said. But you can choose what happens next. After Diwali, both brothers announced they would commute daily rather than stay in the city. We want to be here, they said. The change was immediate. Sass could no longer rule unchecked. The house rebalanced. A year later, my hair reaches past my shoulders, different than before. Curlier, as if he experienced changed it at the roots. I wear it loose, without flowers or hours of grooming. Sunita keeps hers in a chin-length bob by choice. She discovered she likes the freedom. The village has accepted our new selves. Young brides seek us out, whispering their troubles. We don't tell them to shave their heads. We tell them something more revolutionary, that they have choices. Sass has mellowed, watching my daughter's wild curls with something like regret. Under the neem tree where we burned our braids, new growth pushes through each spring. Sometimes women ask how we found the courage. We didn't find courage, Sunita says. We found each other. And that is the truth. In our darkest moment, when everything was taken, we discovered we could still choose. We could transform. We could rise. The whispers faded. The scandal became history. What remains is knowledge. Freedom is not given but taken. Not granted but chosen. Not inherited but earned. 5 years now have passed. I'm 31, mother of 2. My hair falls past my shoulders, but it carries no weight of identity. It's just hair, sometimes oiled, sometimes wild, always my choice. When evening wind stirs the neem leaves, Sunita and I sit together, watching our children play where we were once shorn. We don't speak of that day much. The scar has become a mark of transformation. Like gold through fire, we emerged different, purer, stronger, ourselves. Under the neem tree, where our ashes nourished the soil, life continues to grow, reaching toward light, refusing to be stopped. Just like us. The end.